In lesson 2.2, chapter 2 is all about multiplying and dividing integers, including fractions. This is all part of standard 7.number sense, grade level 7, number sense domain, standard 2. All right? This lesson's focused on dividing integers, where the last video we worked on multiplying integers. And before I get into this example, what I want to make sure we understand is if we multiply a positive times a positive, we're going to get a positive. A negative times a negative is going to result in a negative. This we talked about in the prior lesson on multiplying integers. If we multiply different signs, positive times a negative, we're going to get a negative. And if we multiply negative times a positive, we're going to get a negative. Oops, sorry, I wrote the wrong line here. So if the signs are the same, the result is going to be a good time. All right? They're going to be friends, they're going to get along, and they're going to have a positive time. If they are not the same sign, if they're not friends, then it might not be a negative time. It might be a negative time, I mean. So again, this is please don't apply these rules to your own friendships. We can get along even when we're different in real life. But when it comes to multiplying and dividing in positive and negative numbers, these are the rules we want to apply for the purpose of multiplication as a language. So, when we're dividing integers, it is the exact same set of rules. A positive divided by a positive equals a positive. All right? Negative and a negative equals a negative. Positive and negative, negative and a negative equals a positive. Positive and negative equals a negative. Negative and positive equals a negative. So when we're dividing, these rules still work. And that's what I want to make sure I say right out the gate is if you know these rules, these sign rules, then you're going to be able to multiply and divide like normal and applying these rules as needed. So in this example walks through how a person thinks about the math and all of the steps that we like to do automatically. So first they say use the number line here. Again, we want to be able to use a number line to find how far that a diver should travel, okay, to reach 100 feet below sea level in 5 equal descents. So they want to get all the way down to 100 feet below sea level, negative 100, and they want to do it in 5 equal descents. All right? So to solve this problem, this person who wrote this example is going to set it up as negative 100 divided by how many equal descents? 5, and that's going to get us the number we're looking for, all right? How far she should travel in each descent. So we rewrite, this person is going to rewrite the division problem as a multiplication problem. So instead of saying 100 divided by 5 is an answer, they're going to say what number, right? What number multiplied times 5 is going to equal 100. So they're going to do it the other way. What number times 5 is going to equal negative 100? So what's 5 times 10? Isn't that 50? We're halfway there. So if 5 times 50 is halfway, or I'm sorry, 5 times 10 is 50, if that's halfway, then 5 times 20 would get us all the way. So these are just mental math tricks that I use, but what the person who wrote this example does is they go through and they say, remember the rules for integer multiplication. So they're focused on the negatives, all right? Since 5 is positive, okay, if the product is negative, one of the factors must be negative. Since 5 is positive, the unknown factor, since 5 is positive, the unknown factor must be negative. So we know that this number this product, right, is going to be negative, because a positive and a negative equals a negative. So then here, the next step this person goes through is they say, you know that 5 times 20 equals 100. So using the rules for integer multiplication, positive and a negative equals a negative, 5 times negative 20 is going to equal negative 100. So the diver should descend 20 feet in each descent. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 20 feet each. So use this process to find each of the quotients below. So these are examples, all right? 14 divided by 7 is 2. Positive and a negative is a negative. 36 divided by 9 is 4. Negative and a negative is positive. 55 divided by 11 is 5. Negative and a positive, negative. 45 divided by 5 is 9. Negative and a negative, you're going to get a positive. So that's really all this lesson talks about when dividing integers. So what they do beyond this is giving you different ways of dividing integers, all right? And so it really does come down to, can you divide the numbers, and can you remember the rules for dividing different signs? And that, honestly, is really what this lesson is all about. So here, the word problems is really more about 7.NS.2 being able to solve word problems, dividing positive and negative numbers. All right, they're using this standard to help you practice for this standard. All right, because this has to do with word problems, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing positive and negative numbers. So from here, we're going to go to lesson 2.3, which again has to do with word problems. So we're going to talk about that next.